You are now listening to an exclusive interview on Sounds of Success with Noah Swiderski.
Welcome back to the Sounds of Success. I'm your host, Noah Swiderski. Today, we're diving deep into the world of creativity and inspiration with a special guest who knows how to turn imagination into reality. Get ready to unlock the secrets of success as we explore the journey of Doug Barry, the brilliant mind behind Jasper-N-Friends. Let's jump right in. Doug, it's a pleasure to have you on.
Oh, it's great to be here. Thank you for having me on, for sure.
Absolutely. Can you tell us about the moment you decided to write your first children's book and what inspired you?
Yeah, as my kids grew up and I read books to them, I thought maybe I could, write a children's book. But it always seemed like everything had been done. I couldn't come up with an original idea until that one day. My son just turned 27, but when he was about 10 years old, he caught a baby rabbit in our backyard, named it Jasper, and brought it in the house for the night. And we let it go the next morning. And when we let it go, I looked over at my wife. I'm like, there's the idea for the children's book. So that's where the inspiration came from. And it took a little while. I got turned down about 4 times from 4 different publishers to have it done. But just persistence. It took about probably 10 years to finally find a publisher. And it was a hybrid publisher that would do it. So it did cost a little bit of money. But we got it done, and thought I'd sell 30 copies to family and friends, and ended up selling about 500 in about 6 months. So it took off pretty good.
That's an incredible story. And there's a lot more people don't know. Your book, The Night I Spent in a People House, is based on a real life experience. How did that night shape your perspective on storytelling?
I don't really know. I didn't know when my son caught the rabbit and brought it in the house. It's like, well, we can't do that in the story. We can't have kids running out in their backyard trying to catch a rabbit. So in the story, he actually sneaks in the house through a little gate, a little dog, like a little animal gate, doggy door. But then you start thinking, people ask you to do more things, and you start falling back for the stories on your personal experiences. In the second book, Day at the Beach, we like to vacation at Myrtle Beach, so that's where that came into play. I figure rabbits don't generally get to the beach, so that could be fun. And the third book, Farmer Jasper, back to my days of working on the poultry farm that our family had in Maryland. So we went back and did that. So it kind of draw back on personal experiences.
And thank you so much for your service. As a former Air Force member, how has your military background influenced your writing and your creativity?
Oh, yeah. It's great because I don't write stories for the news of today. I don't want it to be a social experiment, none of that kind of thing. I just want them to be fun stories. I let kids be kids. That's my little tagline I like to use. They're only little for a little while. Let's let them be little. And so my military background brings forward some of the stuff that parents would like to see in their children: responsibility, integrity, friendships, that sort of thing. I don't do it on purpose, but just because of my Air Force background, my military background, it just finds its way to weave into the stories.
And what challenges did you face when transitioning from a career in the military to becoming an author, and how did you overcome those?
It happened so fast, right? At the same time, it took a while, but it happened so fast. The military gave me the mindset to not give up, because failure is not an option. I mean, I know that's maybe a little bit of cliche of a statement, but it really isn't. You have to make a decision, and whether it's right or wrong, it's got to work. There's no, it didn't work. So that background gave me the mindset of, if there's, during the process of trying to get these published, if there's a brick wall, find a way through it, around it, over it, under it, that sort of thing, and just make it work. And so that kept me going, and it's still keeping me going. And I've suffered a little bit of burnout this year because I'm still just a one-man show, but you take a little me time, you go to the beach a little bit, rest and relax, and come back and hit it hard again.
Nothing that the beach cannot cure. You've mentioned that your book is a go-to bedtime story for many families. What do you think makes it resonate so well with children?
I think the innocence of the characters. I try to give them the personality of younger children. So it's to keep them kind of like on the same mindset of kids and have them react to situations as, you know, a 4 or 5-year-old might react to a situation. And I think that helps. Of course, the great illustrations help even more. The fun stories are awesome. And I do keep the books kind of short. They're only about 30 pages long, because I know when I was reading bedtime stories to my kid, I didn't want to get wrapped up in some chapter book or anything like that. It's like, let's get you a good, fun bedtime story and get you to bed kind of thing. And so that's kind of the framework I'm working with.
What a great framework. I mean, you're definitely bringing families not only together, but really building that experience that's a calming, very, very calming stories that they get to fall asleep to. Can you share some feedback or reviews from readers that have particularly touched you or stood out?
I can. The one that probably hit me the hardest, and try not to get too emotional. My sister works at NASA. She doesn't work with this other lady in the same office. I think this other lady works in California, but their paths cross through Zoom meetings and that sort of thing. And she found out about my books, and her son was never interested in any books. Didn't want anything to do with reading. She couldn't get him interested in anything. And so she ordered my book. And she said when it showed up, he got so excited that he had a book. He tore it open and stuff and just started reading. And she's like, you just gave him that fire he needed to start reading. So that's pretty cool. When I know I'm impacting people's lives like that, I know the good Lord put me on this path for a reason.
What advice would you give to aspiring authors looking to create their own children's book, or just write in general? Just
do it. Just start putting paper to pencil and just do it. There's no right time. There's no perfect time. You're going to get it wrong. I showed my daughter's a teacher, and she's dealing with third graders this year and talking to them about writing. And she wanted me to share with them an image I took because I thought it was so poignant at the time of doing it. It's a legal pad. It's got stuff written all over it that I wanted to use in my book. And all of it scribbled out with like 2 lines in the middle. And it's like, do you think this is success or failure? And, it's like, that's success. That's success. That those 2 little lines, to help get me into the thing. And you can feel like you're failing and it'll look like you're failing. But if you just keep digging and know where your direction you're going in, you're going to get to the success on the other side.
How do you come up with all the new ideas for Jasper's adventures? Is there a specific process you follow?
Well, like I said earlier, I kind of fall back on personal experiences now that I've got 3 books. Folks are like, you got to do a Christmas story. So I got a little feedback from folks that are doing that. So we got Jasper doing a Christmas story. We're going to do some fun Christmas Santa Claus stuff at the beginning, and they're going to then walk around and see a manger, and we're going to do some Christian stuff towards the end of the book. A wise owl is going to tell them the story of Jesus. And after that, there's another book that I'm working on that's written I've got a little bit of a racing background in my past, worked on a couple part-time race teams, and just recently got a little bit of Jasper's on a race car now. So that's really cool. Sprint car. So we're going to do a little racing thing. They're going to be like walking by a fairground and see the cars running by, and Jasper's going to think it's real cool. He's going to go back and fall asleep, and he's going to dream about being a race car driver. So that's going to be kind of cool too.
I love how you use your past experiences and blend it into this new world that the next generation can kind of go to sleep to and wake up to. What role does imagination play in both your life and your writing? How can parents encourage this in their children?
Well, that's a good question. They got to get away from, and it's some of my newer social media posts, is you got to get them away from the screens. You just got to get them into the book, and they got to fill in some of the blanks in their own head of the story, so they can kind of twist it and make it go in their own direction. I think that's the most important part. I mean, books have kind of taken a back seat in this 21st century, and I think maybe we need to get kids back into looking at them. And we just need authors out there putting out good stories, and I think we can turn that around.
Looking ahead, what are your goals for Jasper and Friends, and what can readers expect from you in the near future?
I crossed paths with Dave Knoll. He's actually created a book called I got it right behind me, The Visionary in Charge, and he produces TV game shows. Is actually what he does. He creates those, and he's won a couple. I think they were Emmy or Academy Awards. I don't know what, for his programming. And he's taught me to everybody always says think big. Don't think big. And I'm like, what are you talking about, Dave? He's like, think huge. Don't just think big. It's going to take the same amount of energy to think big as it is to think huge. So just, throw it all out there. So I've got all kinds of stuff in the works for Jasper and Friends. I've got more story ideas. I've developed. I come to find out board games are very expensive to have made, but I have created one, so that's back in the wheelhouse. Ready to come out when I get to that point. I bugged my wife. I said, "Wouldn't it be so cool if, like in Myrtle Beach, where we like to go vacation, there's tons of putt-putt golf courses." I'm like, "Could you imagine a Jasper and Friends putt-putt golf course?" I mean, I just keep thinking of stuff that could actually really happen. I mean, it's big, it's huge, but it's not inconceivable. And so, yeah, there's all kinds of things. A cartoon is another thing that came up, and I think I'd love to do like a Saturday morning cartoon. I've already got the jingle that you can find that on my YouTube page. I've already got the Jasper and Friends jingle made up for that. So, yeah, it's endless, really. I just keep pushing myself forward a little bit with these ideas and let them sit out there. We'll work on them at some point in time.
Nothing is short of possible with you, Doug Barry. Everyone's excited to see what you're coming out with new Jasper ideas and books and even games. Who knows? It could be even a movie. And so kind of thinking about that, where can people find you? Where can they see your stuff? Are you on Instagram, Facebook, websites? Where can they follow you?
Yeah, I'm on most of the social medias. If you just put Jasper and Friends in the search block, something will probably come up. If you see a little rabbit, that's me. I've got a webpage, Jasper-N-Friends.com, so you can go there. The books are available literally everywhere online. Amazon's probably the easiest one for most folks, but it's on BarnesandNoble.com, BooksAMillion.com. My distributor is Ingram Content, which is one of the largest book distributors in the country. So you can even go to your local bookstore, and if they don't carry it on their shows, they can certainly order it for you. My goal is to get it in the major stores nationwide. That's the next goal, and it has been. That's a daunting task, but I'm not giving up. I mean, that's just, you don't do that.
And that wraps up another inspiring episode of Sounds of Success. Thank you, Doug Barry, for sharing your incredible journey and insights with us today. Remember, everyone, success is not just about reaching the destination. It's about enjoying the ride all along the way. Stay tuned for more stories that inspire and uplift. Until next time, keep chasing those dreams. Thank you, Doug.
Thank you, sir.